Hello and a warm welcome everyone to today's SAP community call. My name is Lena Stolert and I will be your technical host for today. This community call is about Service Ticket Intelligence, the best practice of SAP Partner Ticket Intelligence. But I'm not alone today. With me, I have three speakers that will give you further insights into the topic, namely Haodan Yang. She is Product Manager for SAP AI Business Services. Further, Ying Sun. He's the solution architect for SAP Partner Technology, and Tarun Singhal, data scientist in machine learning and business analytics. I'm very much looking forward to the great session with you. Please raise questions you might have at the end of this call into the Q&A section, which you see at the bottom of your screen. We'll have some time at the end to address all the questions you might have. So with this being said, I'll hand over to you, Haodan.
Thanks, Lena. Welcome everyone to the session. Let's go straight to the agenda. So in the session, we'll be talking about, I'll give you a quick introduction for Service Ticket Intelligence, its key features and the scenarios where it can be applied to, and the reference customer stories we have. And then I will share a little bit more on the AI challenges we have with the data quality issues that is very common for all these AI solutions in the market. And then I'll hand over to Ying and Tarun to share about their experience and the best practice when they are implementing Service Ticket Intelligence to Partner Ticket Intelligence. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A session, as Lena mentioned. So in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, just put on the chat and we'll address at the end of it. Okay, so Service Ticket Intelligence is part of the AI Business Service portfolio. AI Business Services provide strategic machine learning capabilities that automate and optimize the business process and enrich customer experience across the intelligence suite. So the key thing here is that we leverage our machine learning capabilities, and all these services are built around the specific business scenarios and to automate the business processes. And the second keyword here is that all these services you see here has the reusability. So it means that all these services are available as the microservices on top of SAP Cloud Platform. And it can be applied or bring value to more than one business processes or scenarios. And it has the flexibility technically to get integrated with different systems. So you can see here we have 6 services that's already available. There's the Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement. We have 3 services that's under the umbrella of business document processing. So we have the business entity recognition that help to recognize business entities from the unstructured text. And we have the document information extraction that help to automatically extract the information from the unstructured documents, the business documents. And we have the document classification where it helps to classify the unstructured documents, like the attachments in the mailbox. And we have other services, data attribute recommendation that will help to automate the creation, maintenance, and management of the structured data. It's mainly for the master data management. And the invoice object recommendation is more for the financial processes to recommend the GL counts and cost centers for the invoices where they don't really have all the reference. And last but not least, we have Service Ticket Intelligence. That is so the whole service is built around the automated ticket handling scenarios with the ticket classification and the solution recommendation features. So in this session, we'll be focusing on Service Ticket Intelligence. This is a typical scenario where we can use Service Ticket Intelligence. So now imagine that we have a customer, Jane, who has the fridge door that does not close properly. So Jane's very upset. That's why she raised a ticket. So a ticket get created at the back end. And then she has to wait for a very long time before the ticket get processed and she can get a reply. So she's very upset about it. At the other side, we have the customer service agent, Bob. But Bob is also hardworking, but the problem is that she has a large volume of ticket that's queuing in the pipeline. So that's why it takes such a long time. He missed the customer service time window. So with Service Ticket Intelligence, once the ticket get created at the backend in system, it will be processed by the Service Ticket Intelligence with the content of the ticket title and also the descriptions of the ticket. So it will help to classify the tickets and also provide the recommended responses. So when Bob opens the ticket, he'll really get quite some insight or key information and what is the next steps. And then it helps to facilitate the ticket handling. He can route it to the L2 support faster or the field agent faster, or even have some, answers that happens in the fast as a reference, so he can get back to the customer journey faster. So that's how it creates value to the whole service centers and also the customers in the end. This is how it looks like in the system. So a ticket get created via email. And you can see that from the ticketing systems, from the tickets panel, a ticket get received by the service agent. The service agent opened it, and based on the description of the tickets that's put in by the customer, the service category and the incident category gets populated. That is predicted by Service Ticket Intelligence. And you can see there's a green cycle here. It also comes with a confidence score. And then it can easily get routed to the L2 support or the service agent team, the field agent team. So you can see also from the panel on the right side, the similar tickets that have been closed in the past will be recommended with a confidence score again, the top 3, as a reference to the service agent to handle the tickets. So in summary, Service Ticket Intelligence helps to reimagine the customer service with automated processes. So the ticket comes in from different channels, via phone calls, via emails, or even chatbots. And we have the 2 main features, the ticket classification and similar ticket recommendation, to process the tickets and before it get handed over to the customer service agents. So the service agent can reduce the repetitive tasks and doing the categorization and really focus on the tasks that create value to customers and the organization. So of course, they will speed up the service response time and has higher rate of the problem resolution and the ticket closure. And in the end, the customer will be happy. So these are the 2 big pillars of the features that on the Service Ticket Intelligence. The first one is a ticket classification. So we can classify the incoming tickets based on the categorization, the priority, how urgent it is, and also sentiment analysis and also language detection. So the beauty of Service Ticket Intelligence here is that we can get all these results for each of these incoming tickets in one API calls. So the input data will be the same, and you don't need to have the different engines running in parallel. Then we give you all these results in one API calls in the contents, the results. And also we have the ticket recommendation. So you can recommend the response of similar tickets as you see in the previous demo. So that is as a reference to the customer service agent, so so that they can come up with the answers faster. And all these scenarios are built around the ticket handling scenario to facilitate and automate the processing of service requests with the capability of machine learning. As I mentioned earlier, Service Ticket Intelligence has quite some integration options. So it has quite some flexibility here. You can see that we have, it's naturally embedded in the SAP C4 Service Cloud. And it's a standard offering for all these enterprise edition customers. So BND is a reference customer for us. And it can also be integrated with the SAP S4HANA systems like the CRM on-prem and the shared service framework through the EIMS, the email response management system, and also the ITSM, IT service management. We have Partner Ticket Intelligence team is using this within this schema, and we also have some other internal customers who's using this. So one thing I want to highlight here is also there are different scenarios where Service Ticket Intelligence can be applied to. Either is the external facing to handle the customer request, or it can also be used to handle the internal shared service frameworks. The ticket requests, like your IT tickets or the HR tickets or even finance tickets. So that's how it has the reusable or components, that the reusability, what it means. So another thing is that it has a flexibility to get integrated with the third-party ticketing solutions. So NHK, the customer use Service Ticket Intelligence to handle their internal tickets, streamline their internal IT ticket handling together with the chatbot. So Service Ticket Intelligence can also be used in combined with conversational AI and other AI business services, and potentially the SAP, intelligent RPA bot. So this creates a more automated way for your business processes. Okay, so this is a short overview of our reference customers. So as I mentioned earlier, the BNDs use it in the C4 Service Cloud to automate 70% of the tickets for the ticket classification, and improved 5 times about the first response times. And it have the accuracy of 85% using the 150,000 historical tickets. And we also have, so this is what we will deep dive today, the Partner Ticket Intelligence team, who's using Service Ticket Intelligence to automate 35% of all the active categories and 44% of all the tickets from the start. That is phase 1. And then they reduce the manual efforts of 60,000 tickets per year. And so Ying will share more details about the reference stories later. And also we have another customer called NHK that use the STI with conversational AI. So they improve the team productivity and the user satisfaction a lot with the streamline of the ticket incident handling. This is the short video of how the Service Ticket Intelligence get integrated with the shared service centers. So you can see that it's similar, that the ticket get created via email. So now the shared service center colleagues log into the system. After he go to the inbox and to look at the newly created tickets. So you can see that the categories have already been automatically populated with the help of Service Ticket Intelligence. So this is to show that it does not necessarily can be only used to the customer service center, but also the internal service centers. And this is another example. I want to show you how STI can benefit colleagues. So this is the ticket creation scenario. So it can benefit also the end users who create the ticket. So if type in the description of the ticket, usually if we it's like the self ticket creation process, we have to select the right categories, and you have to go through all these categories and choose the right content. But with the help of Service Ticket Intelligence, it will recommend the top categories based on the description. So it always bring benefits to the end users in other scenarios. Can potentially also predict the priority level with ticket classification feature. So that is the short introduction for Service Ticket Intelligence. And now I will share a bit on the data requirement and challenges we've encountered while we are doing, we're experienced with Service Ticket Intelligence. So we see that the data quality challenges for it's always a key when we want to have a well-balanced data across the categories. But usually, for instance, the tickets comes in via email. There's a lot of irrelevant, redundant content in one ticket that will confuse the machine learning models when they are learning it. So how can we really, keep the key information that really matters, that determines for instance, the categories? That is the challenge that we've been facing with Service Ticket Intelligence. And another thing is the imbalance, the data distribution across the categories. As you can see from the graph here, usually like the 80-20 principles, right? We have, some categories has like 20 categories has 30% of the volume of tickets, and usually the other, categories, they have less tickets. So it means that the machine could not really learn well about the patterns in these categories of low volume of tickets. And you can see from the confusion metrics, usually you have a high accuracy here with the tickets, with the categories of high volume. And with the other ones, if they have low volume, usually get misclassified easily. So that's one of the challenges we have. But the good news is that the Partner Ticket Intelligence team handles these challenges quite well. So now I will hand over to Ying and Tarun to share how they tackle these challenges and their experience.
Thank you, Haodan. Hello, everyone. So maybe I'll give a little bit self-introduction first, and then I'll start with a little bit system architectural overview, and Tarun would provide insights into sort of a more machine learning and the data science aspect of the solution. So both Tarun and myself are part of SAP's Partner Technology team. So we are the team that looks after SAP partner applications and support to give partners better efficiency to serve our customers better. So next slide, please, Haodan. So how can Service Ticket Intelligence help provide better and faster partner support services? One of the venues that we provide to SAP partners to help them to work better is through this partner ticketing system. So every year, this ticketing system handles over 130,000 support tickets. And this tickets encompasses a number of topics, anywhere from marketing, sales related questions to issues with applications and portals, so on and so forth. And this tickets would come from over 180,000 partners SAP has around the globe. So we actually have teams around the globe that provide that support. And this ticket resolving process is digitized, however, is somewhat manual, because the process is such as that our support agents will receive the ticket, and one of the first things they do is that they have to categorize those tickets in order to be able to resolve them in a timely manner, or sometimes to route to different teams for that to be handled more efficiently. And when we started out, just like a lot of SAP customers, we wanted to actually inject some intelligent technologies into our processes. And also we want to move some of our applications into the cloud. So we came across SAP's own Service Ticket Intelligence services, and we built our solutions around that. And the ultimate goal is that by providing this solution, we can actually enable our agents to spend more time in ticket resolution, thus give our partners better experience with SAP. Next slide, please. So what is the end results of this solution? So we are currently, because data volume, we automate about 35% of all active categories of the whole partner ticketing system. and also that's about total number wise 44% of all tickets from the ticketing system. We can easily automate additional categories when each category reaches minimum number of tickets. So this has to do with data quality, like Haodan was saying, is that we need a minimal number of tickets in the category in order for machine learning to be able to provide accurate result. And also, one of the big benefits of this solution is that we're able to reduce manual categorization efforts for over 60,000 tickets per year. That improves efficiency for us and enables our agents to be able to spend time on more value-added activities. We estimate that we're saving approximately about 160 hours per year in ticket processing just for the categorizing itself. And in the case that all these categories are being automatically populated in the tickets, we are reducing the dispatching efforts. So the agents will get the tickets right away, and they're able to provide more accurate answers in a more timely manner. And also that's by enabling the service that we're giving our business insights into how categories are created and how many categories we have and how we can use the categories more efficiently. For example, that currently in our partner ticketing system, we have over 250 active categories. And that is a pretty big number, especially comparing to how many support tickets we get every year. And after we have enabled the services, we actually have a dashboard that actually provide that statistics to our business to get them to see, look, we have all these categories. A lot of these categories are not being used on a frequent basis, right? So this will actually help us, our business, to improve that process, to reduce number of categories or create the proper new categories for us to improve the efficiency overall. And also that's because we're helping our business to reduce number of categories, we're increasing the consistency of reporting by simplifying categorization schema based on machine learning results. So this was not our main goal when we started our project, but it's a great side business benefit as a result. And so quoting our tools and technologies lead, Carolina Haas. So she, after talking to agents that handles the tickets, she said that Service Ticket Intelligence helps us rethink and improve SAP's partner support process, not only in terms of increased efficiencies, but also in setting up a better process and continuously refining it based on artificial intelligence insights. So that we're very happy with that result. And this is our first dip into the intelligent technologies, and we're happy to be able to pull that off. Next slide. So next, I'll kind of give you an overview of what SAP's partner ticket system process looks like. So every time when an SAP partner have a question, they would send an email to a designated email account. So that email would reach what we call shared service framework system. So basically an on-prem CRM system that has an email response management system enabled. So that system would convert this email to a partner ticket. And this partner ticket would be listed under our Interactive Center for Partners, ICfP for short. And that's where our agents will go in to process those tickets. So under our current solution, when a ticket is being created, or when an agent opens a ticket, that sends a call to our Partner Ticket Intelligence solution. And that does a number of things. That as soon as it reaches our services, the information within the ticket will be anonymized and processed, and then it gets sent to the machine learning model we created within Service Ticket Intelligence. And the machine learning model will return a predicted list of top 3 category choices, and that gets returned back to the front end user interface for our agents to see, and that's part of the ticket processing process. Next slide, please, Haodan. So when we start our project, one of the main things that we want to do is that we want to follow the best practices, and we want to talk to our users from the very beginning. And so that's why we adapted a user-centric approach. And from early going, we kind of get the sense that, especially for users who have not had direct exposure into intelligent technologies, they're not sure how accurate machine learning would be for them. So we decided on a two-phased go-live approach. And we talk to we have various user sessions throughout our design and development cycle, and just to get user feedback as soon as we can, as often as we can. So here you see a sort of a screenshot of one of the sessions that we did with our users. Is we presented them with a question: is that if you see in this ticketing user interface, if you see machine learning assisted categories, how would you deal with it? So that's more what your reactions would be. So let's say that we have our service ticket intelligence service returning suggested categories with very low confidence. How would our agents react? And also that's if we have this predicted categories with confidence percentage, would that help with the process? And also that, do we want to give a visual indicator instead of just a number percentage, and so on and so forth? So from that actually drives our design decisions. So our conclusion from all those user sessions was that, first of all, the users at least at the very beginning prefer to see how confident service ticket intelligence service is about a particular predicted category, and then that would somewhat drive the decision whether that's the assisted category they're going to use for that ticket or not. So things like that helped to shape our final solution. So next, we're going to go over a little bit of maybe a system architecture type of overview. Haodan, next slide, please. So we are designing a solution that's integrating an on-prem system with a cloud system. So in the backend, we have our shared service framework system, which is on-prem SAP CRM system. And our applications and services for Partner Ticket Intelligence resides in SAP Cloud Platform, Cloud Foundry to be more specific. And so we want to, first of all, establish that communication. And second of all, high priority is that we want to have secure connections, and also all the data transmission between the two systems are secured. So we have adapted a sort of an OAuth token mechanism. So what that is that every machine learning request coming in from our service ticket intelligence system would actually make the first call into SAP Cloud Platform to get an OAuth token. So this is with a specific encrypted user ID and password. And once that token is obtained, the payload will be sent from this shared service framework system again with this token attached. So that helps the Cloud Platform to authenticate this request. And this call would reach SAP's Cloud Foundry app router. So think of it as a firewall that protects our services on the Cloud Foundry instance from the outside intruders. So once the app router is able to authenticate this payload with the OAuth token, it would actually route it to the appropriate services behind it. So in this case, we have our machine learning services that does the data pre-processing and does the language detection, so on and so forth. And then it sends that out to Service Ticket Intelligence for machine learning queries. And we also have front-end application developed for us as a technical team to go in to monitor the machine learning models, to see the progress of model training and so on and so forth. And also that because the sort of a international nature of SAP's business, we support various languages within the partner ticketing system. For example, like if you look at out of this 130 or so thousand support tickets, we actually have over 7 different languages on a regular basis. And because the data volume for each language, we have chosen start with 4 main languages. So that being English, German, Spanish, and Portuguese. So that means, first of all, we need language detection. And also that we are training machine model per language. So we have 4 machine learning models basically for each language for the tickets. So Haodan, next slide, please. So what does our final solution look like? So this, if you look at the interface on the bottom, it looks similar to the demo video that Haodan showed. So above, you'll see actually that's what a typical SAP partner support ticket would look like. So a partner would send the email into the ticketing system. And so in this case, a specific case that this new partner user has moved organizations. They had the same S user ID. So if you have been with the SAP community or SAP ecosystem, you know that S user ID enables you to number of different learning materials, certification, all that stuff. That's your unique identifier for you as a SAP ecosystem member to access all those resources, right? So this partner user has moved across to a different organization. He or she was wondering that they can move their certification over, SAP certification over. So this ticket comes into the ticketing system, and our partner support agent would open up their ticket listing. And one of the first things they'll see is that you see the column in the ticket listing, category 2. So that's the categories that's being automatically populated through machine learning. And also the language is being automatically detected. So once our support agents are able to see that, they, in a lot of cases, they already know that who should be handling this right away, and they don't have to go in to look at the content before they move on to the next step. And once they actually open up the ticket, if they're not so sure about the categories that's already populated, they can still do a drop down on the categories to see what other categories the machine learning thinks that there should be. And so if you look at it, that's the top 3 choices that comes back from Service Ticket Intelligence. So we have S user and passport being the top suggested categories, and also have portal access support and program support as secondary and third program support, category suggestions. So this would help our agents to quickly categorize these tickets and move it down to the next steps for providing a timely answer to the partner users. And so next slide, please, Haodan. So next is actually our data processing, and I'll hand off to Tarun, our resident data scientist, to give you more insights.
Yeah, thank you, Ying. Thank you, Haodan. Hello, everyone. So basically, this slide talks about how we do the pre-processing before sending into the Service Ticket Intelligence API. What it shows on the left is basically we receive the data, as Ying explained, from ICfP data extraction into a partner ticket intelligence system. This pre-processing we have revised quite a lot over a period of time. Basically, this is what the final processing as of now is. So what we do is first we fix the encoding issues, because we are handling multiple languages. There do occur some of the encoding issues, especially when ICfP converts the email into a ticket format. Then we extract the team name. So team names is a very important variable for us. I'll also show as an example in the next slide. But for your reference, team names is basically a team handles only a particular category and language of ticket. So it is a very important variable which we do not want to be deleted inadvertently by the data pre-processing. So that's why we store the team names separately, which are present in the email of the ticket. Then we remove the headers and split the multiple threads. So how the data is stored in a database is, for example, if a partner sends a ticket, then the agent replies back to the ticket. Then the partner maybe replies back to the ticket. So this is a back and forth communication. So this back and forth communication is stored as a single entry in our database. So we need to split this back and forth communication into different emails or different threads, so that we can do the data processing. Otherwise, if we handle it as a one giant email, it becomes too tough for us to basically extract the meaningful data out of it. Then we remove then we check and remove the footer. So again, because we are handling different languages, there are different formats of footers different salutations people use, different signatures people use, and of course disclaimers. Disclaimers are basically like 4 or 5 generic text appended to every mail by your mailing system. You do not have a control, or a partner do not have a control, or agents do not have a control of it. So what happens is the disclaimer is like even if the mail is like a single line email, there is a 5-line, 6-line disclaimer that adds to the part of the ticket. And this needs to remove because in a 6-line email, only 1 line will be relevant and 5 lines is garbage, which is just a disclaimer. And then we remove the greetings or the salutations also, like hello, hi, regards, thank you, things like that. Now, as part of our GDPR commitment, we also remove all the personal information. So we do not show all the personal information. We remove all the emails. We remove all the link URLs. We remove all the social media accounts. We remove all the addresses. Also, they are not relevant for purpose of category classification also. So this helps in reducing a lot of amount of text from our email order ticket. Now, we do regexes to basically find patterns for numbers, dates, and time brackets, other garbage values which we have identified over a period of time. Finally, when this is done, we append that, we merge the threads and we append the team name at the end. And then we send it to language detect. So language detect is an external function that we use. So we do have our own language corpuses also for all these 4 languages which we are handling. And after having the language detection, so basically Service Ticket Intelligence, we have one interface, one API for each language. So we use that language specific call or model to get a model trained. Now, interestingly, this thing TF-IDF we have added recently. So basically what has happened is, since we have a lot of email categories, or like around 250, 280 or something, combined all languages, there is unequal distribution between the categories. So most of the bulk of the categories or tickets do not have the even the threshold for the Service Ticket Intelligence. So what we do is to use TF-IDF to extract the keywords. So what we do is we identify all the top 10 keywords from each categories, okay? And then use this corpus and see what is the ranking of TF-IDF among all these keywords. This helps in identifying keywords which are present across all categories. So which are basically will not help in identifying the unique category of the classification. So we try to remove those keywords. So this TF-IDF code, we run it like very frequently so that we are able to identify what are the common patterns across all categories which we can remove. And what is the unique keyword specific to the category. So for example, if the ticket count threshold is pretty low, we try to boost the algorithm so that those tickets count seems significant and they help in classification. This, so as I said, it helps us in generating a removal word list also, and it helps us in removing the top keywords from all the mails. After this, we do the test train usual split and do the model creation per language. And once the model is created, we activate the model for the purpose of classification. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now, this is an example. This is a live ticket that we had. We for the purpose of this meeting, we have anonymized and used like dummy names and dummy words. But this is an actual ticket that we had in one of our system. And if you see over here, it looks like a very big ticket. But if I show you the data processing it, how we simplify it, Haodan, just one at a time. Yeah. So this is basically the team name that I was talking. So this team name basically handles only one particular category of ticket. So we try to remove it and store it separately so that it does not get eliminated in our usual data pre-processing. Next. Yeah. This is the, I talked about different threads and emails. So if you see, the upper part is the first email. The second part is the response. The lower part is the first email. The upper part is the response. So we have to split the threads. How we split the threads is we identify the headers. And by identifying the headers, we are able to split into different emails. Next. Okay. Now this is where the footer starts. So we have a lot of corpus available with us of all specific 4 languages. What kind of possible keywords are there as part of the footers? So next, we remove that greeting. Now this is the giant disclaimer I was talking to you about. See, like it occupies 5 lines in the code. Now the meat of the mail may be like 1 or 2, and because of this, and it's a normal English language, machine learning uses this as a classification if you don't remove it. So we tend to remove all the disclaimers. We do also have a giant corpus of disclaimers also available with us. Yeah. Next question, please. Yeah. So this is basically the removing the footers from both the threads. Yeah. Next. This is the anonymization or removal of all the social media information or the links. Next. This is removing all the emails. This is the timestamp that gets appended when an email gets converted into a ticket form. So we need to remove all the timestamps. Next. These are the header salutations which are still left because we just removed the footer salutation. So we remove the header salutation as well. So this, you see, like how such a big giant email we have been able to streamline into just 3 lines of code. And this is the actual line of the code we need to help the STI do a better classification. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so for purpose of reporting, we use SAC as our dashboard. And in correlation with the business of what their requirement is. So the first screen on the top left is basically about the ticket categories and the counts of per categories. The top right resembles the language detection accuracy. So you see, we have a fairly good language accuracy for English level of tickets. For Spanish, Portuguese, German, it is slightly lesser. So so what happens is, other than English, in the other language tickets, there are mixed language tickets a lot. So because of this mixed language tickets, the system tends to get confused in detecting the language. We are trying to streamline improvements. Like a year ago, it was just around 30–40%. We have jumped up quite a bit because of this data processing, and it is a fairly significant result for us also. In the bottom left, we have the accuracy and the classification. So if you see, before we started the process, there was a lot of unavailable tickets for us. Over the period, we have been able to push for the accuracy, and the confidence level has really increased to the level of accuracy that we want right now. In the bottom right, we create a confusion matrix for the top 10 categories. This is as per the business, the top categories in terms of volume count and the top categories in terms of the business focus. We track this matrix to see the accuracy of these categories specifically in the STA system. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now this is what I was talking about. How do we handle the imbalanced data distribution? And this is a very significant issue for us. When you're dealing with 4 languages and around 300 odd categories, and the categories are not uniform. So we needed a system to get this thing right, because if this does not recognize, the threshold criteria will not be made, and even if the threshold, the system gets confused across all categories and languages. So what we did was we took a certain number of steps. First was we only tried to include the categories of our defined threshold. So we set a threshold. Our threshold was actually stricter than STA threshold. Because we wanted to ensure, since we were handling across different 4 languages and some of the languages had less kind of number of tickets, we wanted to ensure a decent amount of accuracy. So first step was defining a threshold for us. Second was categories confusion. So this was a step in relation with the business. So what we did was we identified a particular number of categories which can be merged together or which can be removed altogether. So business really helped us out, and they went back to the support agents. They went back to all the different global teams that are present, and they identified the categories which can be removed. They identified the categories which can be merged. This really helped us in simplifying the number of categories that are available with us. And also, if the categories are merged, the ticket count per category increased for us. Increased weightage. This was done mostly with non-English language ticket. Because the ticket count, as I said, was pretty low, and the number of categories achieving the threshold was also low. So we tried to do a boosting using TF-IDF to increase the weightages of the good quality data. Next slide, please. Yeah. So I'll handle the data. These are the learning and best practices for us, the data cleaning and modeling. One of this is calculating and tracking the accuracy of the model. This helped us a lot. Like if you saw the confusion metrics of the focus categories and top categories, we were able to identify which category do we need to focus, or which category where the system is not performing well. So you try to handle the data pre-processing in the manner so that the accuracy improves for those categories. Retrain the model as often as we get new data, or if the labels. So basically, over a period of time, labels also change for a category if a team wants. Again, there's some category changes always happening in the business. We also have retraining done often whenever we have like an ample amount of data. Usually, it is done every quarter. Various ways of cleaning up data. I've already discussed the ways that we talk about. It was really challenging for us because we were not able to use the standard email handling platforms or email handling packages like Beautiful Soup for us. Then the data validation, we ensured that data validation integrity checks are done before starting cleaning, because sometimes the data that we saw was garbage, specifically because I told that we had encoding issues converting from an email to a ticket format. For handling multiple languages, we created our own corpus. So standard corpuses were not fulfilling the need for us because there's a lot of SAP keywords and SAP jargon that was used. So we created our own corpus in addition to the existing language corpus and appended it to better pre-process the tickets. Avoiding duplicity of labels, I've already discussed. We did the category simplification exercise, which helped us ensuring the number of labels and categories. Over to you, Ye.
Sure. Thanks, Tarun. So from architectural perspective, we have a number of lessons learned as well. So one of the first ones being that we wanted to design standalone and independent applications for each step of the pipeline. So basically following microservices architecture. Reason being is that in a cloud setting, we want to make sure that we have multiple application services instead of one big monolithic application, right? So if one application breaks down, we don't stop the whole process from running. And also because the nature of our suggested category approach, we want to design our applications to be able to have the system responding close to real time. So that means that we have very quickly, we actually have a service that handles the receiving of the request from our ticketing system, and then another service will handle the data pre-processing and communication with Service Ticket Intelligence, and another service that provide the end result to our ticketing system. So that in combination will give us a pretty good response from ticket category inquiries coming in from the ticketing system. And also one of the other lessons we learned is that we want to minimize dependency on third-party tools, libraries, and services. And one of the good examples is that what Tarun was showing on that real-time pre-processing email slide, that we have a lot of specific SAP-specific handles and like footers and headers and footers and so on and so forth. And we want to be able to have customized routines to handle those instead of using a standard libraries and all that. And also, if you load all that standard libraries and services, that actually takes up a large chunk of memory, which we've came to find out that actually impacts application performances and sometimes even causes application crashes too. So we aim to minimize dependencies on those as much as we can. And also being applications developed in the cloud, we need to have a great way of monitoring and alerting in order to monitor and to support these applications properly, right? So for that, we use an application called Kibana to help us to monitor applications. And also that, as Tarun showed, we actually have SAP Analytics Cloud Dashboard to help us look at the data statistics, so on and so forth on a periodic basis. And also that being application in the cloud, we want to start designing application with data security in mind, especially when integrating between on-prem and the cloud systems. So that's what I showed in that slide with OAuth token authentication and such. So those are sort of the few of the lessons we learned from this solution, designing and develop of this solution. And I hope that's helpful to everyone if you are on the journey to use SAP's Service Ticket Intelligence. And Haodan, so that we can move on to the last slide. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think now we can open for the questions. Is there still already some questions in the chat already?
There's not yet. But if anyone wants to ask questions, you can also, there's a little hand which says, like at the bottom of your screen, there's a little hand which says raise hand. So if there's anyone who wants to ask a question directly, I can also unmute you. In case there is no questions and there might come questions up in afterwards, like after the call, you can also contact us under community@sap.com. And ask the questions to our inbox, and then I will forward them to Haodan and the team.
Yeah, and here's also my contact in case you have questions also for me.
Right, I will stop the recording now.